Welcome to Dark Knight Films Reviews and another classic movie night. Tonight, I will be reviewing The Hound of the Baskervilles, released in 1939. Directed by Sidney Lanfield, from a script by Ernest Pascal, based on the 1902 novel by Arthur Conan Doyle. Starring Richard Greene, Basil Rathbone, Nigel Bruce, Lionel Atwill, Wendy Barrie, John Carradine, Morton Lowry, Eily Malyon, and Beryl Mercer. Now, prior to this one, I had only seen this one back when I was a young kid, and I didn't remember much of it, except for the fact that I actually liked Basil Rathbone as Holmes. But looking back on this one, after seeing the Hammer one, it does retain a lot of what the novel had in it, but it changes quite a bit more than what Hammer did. And I think Richard Greene is quite good as Henry Baskerville. I've always liked Richard Greene, but I don't think he's as good as Henry Baskerville as Christopher Lee was in the Hammer version of this film. And I know I'm going to get flack probably from comparing the two when this was the earliest version of the ahead of the Hammer version, but I can't help it. Basil Rathbone is excellent, though, as Sherlock Holmes in this. And it just weirds me out watching both of these because even though Holmes is good in both films, whether he's played by Peter Cushing in the Hammer version or whether he's played by Basil Rathbone in this version, there's a point in both of these films where he just disappears from the film and is gone for like 30 to 40 minutes of the runtime. And that is jarring because you are following Watson through most of the story. Now that was fine for the Hammer version because we had the wonderful Andre Morel playing Watson in here. And in this one we have Nigel Bruce, which, looking back on it, I thought he was more clumsy and goofy in this as a child when I remembered watching this than what he is in this. But still, he's not near as good as Watson in here. And that's a shame because he is supposed to be taking over for Holmes. And it's not a knock on him as an actor. Nigel Bruce is fine as an actor, but the way that he is written in this doesn't do him any favors. The big difference between Basil Rathbone and Peter Cushing between the two versions is I think Basil gets a little bit more screen time in this just because they have him doing the disguise and playing the old beggar character, and they don't do that with Peter Cushing in the Hammer version, so you only get to see him when he reveals himself to Watson in this one point in the Hammer version. He does get a little bit more screen time than Peter Cushing, but it's not significant enough to make him the better portrayal of the character, even though he is excellent in here as the character. Other changes that were kind of weird for me watching because I was used to the novel's version in which Stapleton And Beryl is the wife who's pretending to be his sister in the novel. Whereas in this, Beryl is the real stepsister to Stapleton, and she has no idea what Stapleton is doing in the story. Whereas the Hammer version, they made Stapleton the father to the Beryl figure, which for whatever reason Hammer decided to call her Cecilia. And she was actually working with him and helping him as an accomplice and everything in that version. In this, she is not. She has nothing to do with anything that he's doing with the Hound of the Baskervilles in here. Wendy Barrie is the character, is probably the weakest link as far as actors in this film, because everybody else is just phenomenal. I mean, I love Lionel Atwill as Dr. Mortimer, equally as good as the Hammer version of the same character. And I liked John Carradine as Berryman. He was great in here as that character. Everybody really is superb in their roles, with the exception of Wendy Barrie. Wendy Barrie's definitely the weak link in this cast. And also how it is written, how quickly Henry falls for her is really just written a little ham-fisted in here. It's just, it is way too quick and not believable at all. But performances all around the board in this are excellent in this, with the exception of Wendy Barrie. So my final review for The Hound of the Baskervilles from 1939, I am going to give this film an 8.2 out of 10. I still think my favorite adaptation of The Hound of the Baskervilles is the Hammer version. So this still can't touch it. But what do you guys think of this 1939 version of The Hound of the Baskervilles? Do you agree with my review? Do you disagree? Let me know in those comments down below. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to click that bell icon so you can be notified about future videos just like this one. And while you're by the subscribe button, click that join button and become a Dark Knight fan. As a Dark Knight Fan Plus member, you have access to an area on the channel right now where you can request a movie, TV series, or ranking video of your choosing. And when that video goes up, it will go up for all Plus members prior to it going up on the channel for all other subscribers. So if you want to get interactive and help me to get more movies or TV shows or ranking videos on my channel that I might not normally cover, become a Plus member. Well, that's the end of another Comedy and Drama Night. If you missed last week's Comedy and Drama Night, check out the link above. Or if you missed any of the videos during Comedy and Drama Night, check out this playlist and get caught up on anything you've missed.